I just want to do a quick look at the crude oil market here. I've got the S&P 500, which is supposed to crash. It's going up. Dow Jones is supposed to crash. And gold's supposed to go through the roof. So gold's not going through the roof so much. The S&P 500 isn't crashing so much. In fact, it looks like it's going to go for an all-time high. And once it goes here, it's going to look like, I think it's going to look like gold, where it just keeps going up because nobody knows what it's worth anymore. So, for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. But can you see with the stop, where people had their stops here on the S&P, how you wanted to get in there? So you want to buy their stops off them? You may have a scalping thing here. It would come up and catch that back, but it looks like it's going to go screaming up. I can't wait to hear what all the doomsdayers are going to say about this one. Any minute now, it's going to crash. The world's coming to an end. Let me tell you what, the economy's coming back, whether you like it or not, and whether it's the black market or even welfare, inflation's coming. Look at crude oil. Now, this is something that was just the most, just perfect. And, you know, this is a real liquid market, not just because it's oil. But look at that trend line break. And are we going to go up here? Is this the, it's so funny the stuff you hear out there. That doesn't work. Cup and handles don't work. Look at this thing, man. God. If this thing breaks this price here, forget about it. Sure, the scalpers are going to come in here to trade that off that top at $50, 51 bucks, but we're going to 60 bucks. We're going up here. You can sell up here. But you can only imagine how many people sold. Well, because the guy that sold here, he's going to have to bail. He sold here and he's like, yeah, I should have got out down here. Remember crude was going to go to $10? Yeah, look at the monthly view. So here was the trap. And this happens on every time frame. There's orders down here. Oof. Not really the place to trade a breakout. So breakout traders, this is a 5-minute chart, you know. Right? Not a big loss, but the idea that this is going to break down and just keep going into the floor, kind of ridiculous. And here's the bottom that was supposed to serve as resistance, and that failed. So the failure on the way back is a big deal. A lot of people were thinking, well, this will be where I sell. The sellers did come in there for crude. They pull it back, off to the races. This was the bottom that became the top, and the sellers came in here, and the bears got trapped down here. Right in there. And it has to be pretty simple there. So if it comes back to 40, you could buy, you could range out for the rest of the year. So it's always a good idea to print these out and then just scribble on it. Get a scenario that looks not like a straight line. Comes up here, comes back to the breakout. The weasels is way up to here, comes in, and maybe it does come down. Maybe it comes all the way back to here. Definitely coming back to here and maybe it ranges here for the rest of the year between 50 and 60. Yeah, most of these markets are in consolidation. There's very few big runs like this. This is a whole year, half a year of just nothing. Trapped in a $10 range here. This is $10. And look at this S&P screaming north. What must it be like to try to sell into this right now? All the doomsdayers trying to sell in the S&P 500 right now. Well, you can see them crap their pants on the 4-hour chart. You can see your entry here. This top here was your price to break. We came back in once we were over the rail, once we were over that water line. It was time to start buying as you come back into that. So all markets are the same. They're not rigged. You go back, I don't care how far you go back. You go back to the beginning of time. See this over and over again. So where's the buy here? People are going to buy the S&P if it ever comes back to here. Where was the trend line to break? Same story, different market. Where's the kickback before this run up? Where's the kickback? Here's the breakout. Here's the top become a bottom. Not really too much chance to get on that train. Here's a big liquidity hunt. Wow. Trap those bears. Rip their head off. Trap the bulls. Comes back into this for the bounce. Now, a lot of people were hoping that was just going to keep going up there. But that's why you have to take small chunks out of the market. I'm going to put a link to the how to make money in the market by just taking small profits on this and not looking for a home run. So I can find that video. Why 90% of traders lose is they're looking for that home run. Because I think we all remember the time we bought here and we rode it and we're like, yes. And then typically people hop back in the market looking for that giant gust of wind that never comes. So they get in here, they load up, and it comes back and they're like, damn it, why isn't it going to do this again? I'm a trend trader, damn it. I was born genetically to be a trend trader. And I've hated trends ever since I started getting into music because they're like, oh, you got to go see the band Kiss. I'm like, can I just not? It's not even music. It's a circus act with sound. Okay? Sorry. Of course, I was listening to Pat Metheny by then. I was already listening to jazz at an early age, realizing that maybe, look at the Dow Jones. Oh boy. Good luck selling in that puppy. Only for the intermediate trades. It's gonna be interesting what happens here when we come up into this. We definitely have sell limits there for the pullback to here. So you can make a bunch of money here. My point is you can make money on this. And look at this kickback. There was the trap. That's where everybody had their stops. There's more liquidity there. Market loves liquidity. It gets it. It feeds on it. And it rips the other way. Over and over again. Here's a beautiful bottom become a top. Here's the trend line. Break crossover. They should be able to just go through these checklists without a... Look at this. Look at this. Does it get any better than that? Come on. Not on Wix. On the clock. This is the 1 period moving average. Just clean, simple. Gold. I just think it's ridiculous. People think this is going to... I mean, there's guys calling for... If I can get it on a chart here. Here's 2,400 an ounce. Did anybody really see this going to 2,400 an ounce anytime soon? First, you got to make it through this hurdle. About 1,500. You think people aren't going to bail at 1,500 if it ever gets there? The only bullish argument for gold here is that was the breakout, the pullback. We better go up now. If not, all they did here was the sellers came in, and look at these dual dojis here. These little zigzags are dojis. You don't have to go to the candle chart, I hope, to realize that that's a doji, those two. That was the sell window. Here's the buyers will probably come in here if you ever come back to this. I could just range out. Look at this thing. Look at this comeback. Here was the old classic. Your buy limits are sitting here. Very close to that window of entry. Yeah, but gold, come on. I like the guy that got the biblical. It's gonna be biblical. Let's not forget, this trend line broke. And another reason to sell right there, and this could be the target, but I don't want to get too angular, too Gartley-ish, because you really are in the world of momentum speculation as opposed to just good old price, which is always just going to be, read the ticker, the price. You can see the people that had stops here, or right here was the entry window right there, support. So yeah, if you made $200 in gold, you're happy. You made $200, get out. Move on to the next sector. If you're sector rotation, and I gotta believe a lot of money is sector rotation money. But this baby's screaming north. If you look at the weekly, if you're a bear, you're scared out of your mind looking at the weeklies on this stuff, on the stock markets. And crude, if you're a bear, you better run for cover.